believe, to beat Gary Anderson, to be in the final of that Premier League at the O2 and missed. Gary Anderson took out 116.
419s for tops.
Well, I was going to say that, but you beat me to it.
81.
Chizzy has the advantage of throwing first in this one. The winner of this one knows who they'll face already in the last 16. It's Richie Edhouse, who was
140.
due to be playing in the final match of this afternoon's session, but Robert Thornton's withdrawal because of illness means he's got a bye.
60.
Well, when we see early on, that last two darts were really... What happens with Chisnall, as he's letting go, his head comes back, which decreases a little bit of the power in that
60.
right arm, and that's what makes the dart go low.
Bit of a jerky motion, isn't it? Sometimes when he can keep it under control for great long periods, and some, we'll have entire games where you don't really see it. But other times it just makes you want to stick him in some sort of a neck brace or something just to hold him in place.
100.
And it obviously comes more to the fore under pressure. Now we see that, although that was a flick high as well, and that one was low.
100.
A little bit Jockey Wilson-esque, isn't it? Although Jockey was jumping over the Jockey at sometimes.
All sorts of things going on with
Stand behind Jockey and you watch him let go of the dart and you go, how did that go in the treble 20? But it certainly did. A great player and a player that's missed.
77. Kevin, you require 24.
Phenomenal setup shot from Kevin Thomas, leaves him double 12. That's a long way off.
So's that one.
Double 6.
18.
They are three dreadful, three perfect darts in the last visit, and three abysmal ones there. But 83 is not a gimme. 16s now. Good setup shot.
Yeah, I went for the small 10. Oh, this is not a give me. Oh, well, it is. He misses two really good doubles and takes out a tough one.
Second leg, Kevin to throw.
But it is a breaker throw for Kevin Thomas.
Yeah, saw off Jan Decker in the first round, did Kevin Thomas. Won that 6-3. Wasn't a brilliant display by any means,
45.
but a welcome return to the European Tour stages for the man nicknamed The Undertaker from Swansea. 35 years old, same age as Chiz. We have seen him on the European Tour, made the last 16 of the Dutch Darts Masters in 2013. That was when it was held in Veldhoven. He beat Wayne Jones and Steve Beaton. He ended up losing to Mervyn King, who went on to make the final that year.
59.
Well, a chance here for Chiz to get the throw back. He's got a little lead, plus these three.
125.
Kevin Thomas with the Richie Burnett flights. Fellow countryman, former world champion.
125.
Chizzy down to 111 after 3 visits. Good response after being broken in the opening leg of this one. This is a good response, though, from Kevin Thomas. A very good response.
Well, he did that in the previous leg, didn't he? Hit a real big score to set it up and put the pressure on Chiz, but Chiz is going to have a dart at double top to level it up.
91. Kevin, you require 77.
I know Thomas hasn't got 3 darts at the double. He would like 2, but don't miss a big number. Well, he's going to get 2 at double 10. Oh, now that's a great guide. Hit the barrel and it bounces in.
67. Dave, you require 20.
Now then, same target for Dave Chisnall. He's missed inside as well. Last dart.
15. Kevin, you require 10.
Oh, well, well.
Well, Dan, if you're going to beat people like Chisnall, you've got to take these chances. 2-0 up in the race to 6.
Team shot in the second leg. Kevin Thomas. Third leg, Dave to throw first.
You know sooner or later Chizzy's going to start hitting everything. So the legs where he's being indifferent, you've got to make
85.
sure you win those.
Yeah, well, Dave Chisnall started off the year with a run to the final of the Masters. He absolutely destroyed Robert Thornton in the opening week of the Premier League.
Well, Thornton was 8-0 up against Chisnall in the Masters and won that 10-9, which was incredible.
So, yeah, he started off 2016 with some intent as Dave Chisnall. Number 8 seed here in Venray for this event.
100.
I referred to him earlier as the biggest 180 hitter in world darts. And well, he's not going to oblige by firing one in for me there. But if you have a look at the Premier League over the last 2 seasons, Dave Chisnall averages a 180 every 2.8 legs. Now, compare that with Adrian Lewis, one every 3.2. Michael van Gerwen, over the 3 mark as well. So that's over 2 seasons of the Premier League. Admittedly, there are other tournaments as well, but I think that's a pretty good sample size.
It is.
2 seasons of the Premier League.
They require 180.
And of course, that doesn't take into account all the 177s and 174s that Michael van Gerwen hits. But look, I said he was the biggest 180 hitter in world darts.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Chisnall does not hit that many 174, especially a few 177s, but Michael van Gerwen and Phil Taylor does. But one every 2 and a bit legs, he's pretty impressive.
97. They
Really
require
is.
24.
Now then, Dave Chisnall, double 12. Oh, is it going to be one of those days for Chiz? Oh, I was going to say when the doubles just aren't happening, because they do happen every now and again for Dave Chisnall, but he gets a leg on the board.
A big sigh of relief from Chizzy.
$125.
Not a tour card holder, Kevin Thomas.
43.
Just missed out at Q School. He had a couple of runs to the last 32, but it wasn't enough to get him a card. He was very nearly took the next step. Jason Marriott beat him 5-4 in the last 32. Had he won that, then things could have been different. He might have grabbed a tour card. He actually beat Jason Marriott in qualifying for this event. And there's a 180 from Chiz. It's only a matter of time.
Well, we had to wait for the 4th leg.
100.
Can he follow it up?
Well, he needs to.
Looks good. Looks very good. Ooh,
140.
But he leaves himself the Della. And he's looking good to break back and restore parity at 2 apiece.
100. They require 138.
It's there.
24.
126. Kevin, you require 136.
Well, he leaves himself the double 6 that he pinned last leg if he comes back, which he will.
$45. They require 12.
So for the second leg running, double 6 for Dave Chisnall to make it 2 apiece. And he gets it. And it is 2 apiece.
Dave Chisnall.
Yes, and he's got his breaker throw back.
5th leg Dave to throw first. Game on.
It's taken a little bit of a while for Chizzy to get into his stride, but now you kind of feel that he's going to start to push on.
140.
He's told me before, the longer games go on, the better I will get. Because once I get comfortable up there, I know the scoring will come. And
140.
That's why he always feels that he's a threat in major tournaments, because if he can stay in these long games, it doesn't matter if he goes a number of legs or a few sets behind, because he feels that with his scoring power, he will give himself chances to get back into the game.
56.
Yes, but the only problem I see with Chizzy, and and perhaps the reason he hasn't won a major, to win a major, you're going to come up against 2 or 3 of the top
100.
other players, because he is a top player, that are going to be on form with you. And it just worries me now. I may be totally wrong, and if Chizzy goes and wins a major, I'll be the first one to shake his hand, because he's a real likeable lad. He really is. However, I just think that this snatch comes out under pressure too many times at crucial times in major tournaments.
Well, look, I mean, he's made 4 major finals, one being the Lakeside, but the Grand Prix, the Grand Slam, and the Masters. I'm not getting into this what's a major argument. I can't be bothered. But he's made 4 big TV finals. He's had
95.
a couple of absolute hammerings. But he's had a couple of relatively close ones as well. And the people he's not losing to mugs. He's lost to MVG, Phil Taylor twice, and Mine Adams.
139. Davey requires 70.
Only going to get 1 dart. It's a double 16.
38.
Ooh, now then, and Kevin Thomas
62.
managing to set up the shot, 62. He may only get 1 dart, though. Well, it's not what he wanted, but it doesn't do much damage because he does get a dart at tops.
42.
He misses it, and that is a
David
big missed opportunity
32.
for a break of throw for Kevin Thomas.
Well then,
Kevin, you require 20.
he gets another shot at it, does Kevin Thomas. Double 10. And that's now up to the 5s. And we said earlier on that he needs to take these chances when he's given them. And he hasn't done so.
Davey required 25.
He's making exceedingly hard work of this,
10.
Dave Chisnall. And Kevin Thomas. He's missed a long way.
Well, he hit double two in the second leg, didn't he?
Yep.
8. Davey require 4.
Well, double 2 plays double 1, and it's like one of those down the pub.
But
Dave Chisnall does get the job done, and he does go into the lead for the first time in the match. And you just wonder that maybe Kevin Thomas may be made to regret those missed chances.
Well, it can have 2 effects. I mean, Kevin can look at that and start thinking about it. It happens for most of this leg, and with Chisnall he thinks, well, I've had me a bit of luck, let's just put the turbos on now and get this game over and done with.
$100.
Kevin Thomas, one of those guys who, despite not having a tour card, makes up the numbers, or did make up the numbers for the Players' Championship events last year. When
84.
You can't find the full field of people withdrawing, unable to make it, whatever. So
Plus he's got the Challenge Tour
to
play on as well.
Yeah. I mean, he made 3 quarterfinals on the Challenge Tour last year. He made a
40.
quarterfinal on the Pro Tour as well, as he has just the 40 scored.
Well, when he first started playing the PDC setup, you know, the Welsh boys that worked for us, Andrew Davis,
93.
the others, I mean, they were telling me how good this...
A lot of people have said, you know, Kevin Thomas, you know, he's a serious dart player. It's not really happened for him, to be honest.
No, it hasn't, no.
81.
But he's still only, 35. I mean, it's not an old man. He's playing darts for the next 30 years, potentially. He's 35 years old. Certainly the next 20.
Well, there's no real age when you can say a dart player peaks at. You've got Phil Taylor at 54. You've got Van Gerwen at, 23, 24. So
126.
there's a long way between 24 and 54.
Now then, Chiz. Now then, Chizzy. 143 checkout, and after all that messing about on doubles in the previous legs,
7 flag.
Chizzy produces a moment of magic.
Game on.
Well, 4-2, that's 4 consecutive legs for Dave Chisnall.
100.
And is he going to race away with this now?
$45.
Yeah, I think Kev is just thinking of that previous leg when he should have gone or could have gone 3-2 up. And now Chisnall, like I said, putting the turbos on.
180.
Second 180 in the 7th leg.
40.
So not hit him as regularly as he has been in the Premier League. There's a little bit of time yet. Can he add to it? Not in this visit. Shouts of Barney Army in the hall here in Venray. Sadly, he's not here for them. Didn't make it through the qualifiers.
No, Barney's paying the price from the beginning of last year and perhaps the year before
45.
of not.
Dave, you require
He ducked out of tournaments. And, the system says if you don't want to play, then you're not going to qualify.
Oh,
Chizzy!
Chizzy!
In the 7th leg.
What is Chizzy on?
Chisnall.
143, now 164.
Dave let Kevin to throw first.
That's why we love Chizzy. You haven't got a clue what he's doing in the first few legs, and then all of a sudden just steps up.
You big yellow genius, you, Dave Chisnall.
100.
Lewis is the same, Van Gerwen, Anderson, well, Taylor is as well, but he's probably more consistent than everybody else, or has been. But that's what makes this game so exciting, Dan. You're thinking, oh, this is a bit of a dull game. All of a sudden,
140.
they just turn up, don't they? As if someone's just put the switch on.
Well, look, I mean, we said Dave Chisnall feels more comfortable the longer games go on. And the longer he's up there, the better darts he feels he's capable of producing. It took him a long while in this one to get going. Lost the first 2 legs, scrappy stuff to get back to 2 apiece. And even then, Kevin Thomas had chances. Could have gone back in the lead at 3-2.
80.
But he failed to take those chances, and Chizzy has just snuffed out his hopes with successive checkouts of 143 and that magical 164 on the bullseye. And
60.
Just the 60 means Dave Chisnall will be looking to end this in this leg for a 6-2 victory and book his place in the final day of action to face Richie Edhouse.
100.
Well, he's going to take at least another 6 darts to finish it off. Yeah, I still think leg 5 was the telling
125.
leg of the whole game. If Kevin Thomas would have taken that with all them darts at a double, then he would have been obviously more confident. But as it was, Chisnall finally got into his stride.
122. Kevin, you require 116.
So Chizzy will get 2 match darts unless this is taken out by Kevin Thomas. And he hits the 16. And he hits the tops, and Kevin Thomas is not dead yet. I believe that may be a wrestling celebration for the man who's taken the Undertaker name from. As the wrestler.
43.
We do have an Undertaker who plays darts, and Nigel Hayden.
Yes, that's true.
Don't think Nigel Hayden does that celebration.
100.
Well, if Kevin Thomas can put a good leg in here and break the throw of Chizzy, then all of
60.
a sudden that hard work with the 143 and the 164 is going to be all undone.
He has stolen the darts here.
100.
Chizzy was sat on 59 for the match when that 116 was taken out by Kevin Thomas.
100.
There's a bit of life in this one yet, because Kevin Thomas has been buoyed by that checkout.
140.
Another good visit down to a finish. Chiz needs a couple of trebles to get down to a finish himself. He's not going to get it, so Kevin Thomas.
41.
Now, I've seen Kevin Thomas go straight for the ball when he's had 3 darts and he's had needing 50. So if he had gotten treble 20, treble 17, I wouldn't put it past him to go for the bullseye.
85.
Well, he's going to get at least 1 dart of the double. 76 required. Chizzy needs a couple of trebles. Well, it's not going to happen now.
43.
The green ones are no good.
Kevin, you require 76.
Well, this is a breaker throw. And to just put a little element of doubt on the Chisnall head.
56.
Problem with that, the 10s and the 5s have not been good to Kevin Thomas, have they? You know, he'd have been, if he's going to miss, he wanted to miss above.
60.
Which has not
Kevin,
really
you
put any
require
pressure
20.
on.
Well, after taking out 2 massive finishes, the 154 is gettable for Dave Chisnall in this kind of move. But Kevin Thomas, is he going to give him a chance of getting it? He is, you know.
Busted it. That's
No
exactly what
score.
he's done.
Dave, you require 100.
Well, we've seen the 143 and the 164. Now, will he go true treble 19s?
Not to be on this occasion.
89. Kevin,
So,
you
another
require
go at this 20 for Kevin Thomas. Oh, up to the 5s again.
10.
And once again, the
Dave,
10s and the 5s
65.
prove an insurmountable barrier for Kevin Thomas. And Chizzy now should get match darts. It's only one, the very centre.
40.
It should have been easier than that.
Kevin, you
Well,
require
that
10.
2 was miles away, wasn't it? Can Thomas finally hit this double 5? Now, that's a perfect guide. Over pitch and hit the barrel. That's when you've just got to over pitch a little bit down and hit the double, hit the barrel, which gives you that
Dave,
deflection.
you require 25.
And Chiz with a little wry smile on his face, thinking, well, I'm going to take it.
Game,
And that
shot.
is that for Dave
And the match,
Chisnall. There were
Dave
moments
Chisnall.
of absolute brilliance from Chizzy there. But if we're honest, it was perhaps more about Kevin Thomas and his inability to hit double 10 and double 5 that made it a heck of a lot easier than it might have been for Chizzy. However, the number 8 seed is through. He will face Richie Edhouse for a place in the quarterfinals tomorrow. We have one more game coming up for you here at the Dutch Darts Masters in this afternoon session. And it sees the man who has just vacated the commentary box